three is correct. Plug that back in somewhere now.
Hey, Coach.
Alright.
So. Can you trade this one? So we'll- we'll step forward here.
Once you get your notes fixed up on that one, we're going to three variables and three equations. Date, some fun stuff. Say that again, sir. So Bellringer, no. Today, we're gonna solve systems with three variables, though, that will be new.
When's that test?
Probably, I worked on lesson plan this morning, probably the middle of next week.
Thank you, Lord.
You forgot to do the 4 times the 2.25, so that'll be 9, and then you gotta do the 4 times the 1250, you only did it on the line.
Yep.
so don't forget
Forgot
those.
about that.
Yep. it said Eric bought half the amount of hamburger. So he bought 5 hamburger, half would be 2.5. But,
I understand.
listen to this good part, every bit of this is correct. So you just, I mean, it's not, it's correct for this number. So if this had been the right number, you did all the work right, but that wouldn't, these wouldn't be choices if it was a multiple choice test. Because that should have been 2.5, which is gonna make this number different, which is gonna make all of it. Don't worry about it now, because what I'm excited about is all the math you did. You knew it, just that one little mess up. Okay, I like when we can write these systems of equations out of word problems like this. This one though, even though I like hamburgers and hot dogs, this one was my least favorite because I wanna use an H for hamburger and an H for hot dog, and you can't do that. So, y'all did good at just picking your generic, make sure you label that, and both of y'all did. So y'all went with your X, oops, need a black, with your X to be the hamburger, and your Y to be the hot dog. So then Kate bought 5 pounds of hamburgers, so you have 5 times X, and 2 pounds of hot dogs, so 2 times Y, and her total was $28.50. But then Eric bought half the amount of hamburger. Half of 5 is 2.5. So you have 2.5X, and then Eric bought a fourth of the amount of hot dogs, so a fourth, 2 divided by 4 is a half. And then Eric paid $12.50. So you were good at setting up your system there. Now it was time to decide what to get rid of. Over on the left side, my left over there, Kelly multiplied both top and bottom by something. Okay? Over here on the right, Austin wanted to just multiply one of them by something. So he was looking for some less work, and that worked out good for that. So it really doesn't matter as long as you're trying something. I'm gonna go ahead because Austin had a number wrong, so I can't cheat off of his, but I'll go ahead and cheat off of Kelly's. She made her Y's be 1s, so she multiplied this top equation by a half, and then this bottom equation by 2. So when you distribute your half on everything, that gets you 2.5x plus 1y equals 1425. And then when she distributes her 2 on the bottom one, that gets you 5x plus 1y equals 25. So now she's ready to eliminate her y's. They're same sign y's, so she's gonna subtract. So 2.5 minus 5, that gets you negative 2.5 x's. Y minus y is nothing, he gone. 1425 minus 25 is negative 1075. So then just divide by negative 2.5. You got it, sister. And you got x is 430, which I think that's a lot per pound for a hamburger. I'm not sure, I haven't. Well,
You haven't bought no pound.
no. And now we gotta plug that back in to find the hot dogs. So Kenley just plugged it in the top one. So she did 5 times 4.3 plus 2y is equal to 2850. So that got 5 times 4.3 is 2150. So subtract your 2150. Gets you 2y is 7. So when you divide by 2, y is 3.5. So that is well, I don't know how much a pound of hot dogs is. I just buy a package with 8, but that is, depends on if you buy the good hot dogs or the bad.
Yeah.
You can get hot dogs for like 89 cents, or you can get them for like $5.
89 cents.
Yeah, some of those cheap
What
ones
those
are.
things terrible.
Alright, so get that fixed up however you need it. Good job working on that. And now we're gonna add 3 variables and have 3 equations. When we did 2 variables with 2 equations, we got to choose we learned substitution, elimination, and graphing. With these three variables, it's just gonna be elimination. You can't, we don't, to graph, we would need 3D capabilities, and we don't have that. I don't know what word
I
you
did it right
think
this
of.
time, Coach.
Good, awesome. If you'd have been doing crazy math, I would have stopped you, but you were doing correct math, so just that one number threw you off.
What did I do?
Get to
Get that.
my other smart book page. So I get to some. There it is. I need a white pen now. Alright, so what I got here says 2x minus 6y plus 9z, always put a line through my z's so I don't think they're twos, equals -8. Then I got 5x plus y plus 2z is equal to 10. And then my third one, I got 3x plus y minus 8z is equal to -28.
This is hard.
Well, we haven't even started yet, they're
Yeah.
negative Nancy.
And it's so hard.
Jeez
already.
Louise, we wrote down 3 equations, and this is hard.
Yep.
Alright, so, don't get overwhelmed with the fact that there's 3 and think we're fixing to just jump on all 3 of them, because we're not. We're gonna take 2 of them and try to condense it down, and then put that one with the third one. Okay, so we're not gonna take all 3 at once. But anyway, it is gonna be elimination. So what you need to be looking at is trying to use some common sense, looking at the variables, thinking which one might be easiest to eliminate from all 3 equations. Like, on my x's, I could make those be 10s there. I could make these here be 6s. I could make these here be 15s. So it's doable on all the x's, right? On my y's, I really like the y's because these are just 1s. I wouldn't have to do anything to that. And then to get rid of that one, I just had to multiply one of them by 6. So I kind of like that. My z's, I don't really like that. Because, I mean, I could make these be 8s.
You can make them all the same way.
I just went over the x's, yeah. I could make them all the same y's. And I could even, Riley, make them all the same z's. But it would just be bigger numbers because you got 9s and stuff like that. Okay? So Riley's looking at the x's. I probably would do the y's.
To say,
Just
make
because
make
I'm-
one of them 6.
Right, just because I would have less work to do. So, here's your options. You can put these 2 together and eliminate a letter. And then put this one with either one of those and eliminate the same letter. It always has to be the same letter. Don't eliminate the y's one time and the z's next time. That does you no good. So,
Wait, say that again?
whichever letter I eliminate the first time, I have to eliminate that same letter the second time. Because you're trying to get this down to what y'all did on the board 2 by 2. So we want to go from 3 by 3 to 2 by 2. Craziness, I know. Alright, so you just, I would probably, I don't want you to do what I would do. I want you to think, but you don't know how to think yet because you've not done one yet. You want to put the first 2 together and make that second y be a 6?
How
What do you
would
think?
put them together?
Eliminate them. Like,
Oh.
so do you want to set the first 2 up for elimination first? Or you could set the second 2 up for elimination first? Or you could set the first and third up for
It's whatever we
elimination?
feel like it'll be easier on us.
First and second.
So, yeah.
Do whatever.
Okay, so Jalen's thinking
Oh, yeah, they are.
those second and third one both have a 1y and you wouldn't have any work to do to that? So you wanna put those together first? Okay. That's what I was wanting you to think, but I didn't wanna put that in your mind, okay? So what we're doing right now is putting these 2 together So I'm gonna write over here, copying them down, 5x plus y plus 2z equals 10. 3x plus y minus 8z equals negative 28. And now because both of the y's are the same, I don't have to multiply them by anything.
Right.
And since the y's are the same sign, I'm just gonna subtract. So nothing new, just got a new letter in there. So 5x minus 3x is 2x. Y minus y is nothing, he gone. 2z minus negative 8z, Riley's right, is positive 10z. 2 minus negative 8, right? 10 minus negative 28 is 38. Okay, so you just put those two equations together and made new equation number 1, don't lose it. Because now what I want to be able to do is go back to my original set of 3 and condense down another one so that I got those two, yes. Okay, so look at what we haven't used yet. We haven't used the first equation. So I gotta put my first equation with either one of the second two.
Who's
So-
the second one?
So, okay, so Kinley wants to just hook those two up. Now, I gotta get rid of the y again. Whatever you got rid of the first time, you gotta get rid of the second time. So this first one's got a 6y, so I'm just gonna keep it like it is. Now, what am I gonna multiply the second equation by to get a 6y? 6, good. So we multiply all of it by 6. So 6 times 5x makes a 30x plus 6y. 6 times 2z makes a 12z. And 6 times 10 makes 60. Okay, look at your 6y's in the sign in front of them. It's different.
Add.
So good, Austin, you're gonna add here. So that's 32x.
Is that 12Z or
Yes.
120?
12z. Negative 6y plus 6y is nothing, he gone. 9z plus
21.
12z, 21z. And then negative 8 plus 60, 52.
And then you just put them together.
So there's new equation number 2, don't lose it. So now, yes, Ariana, and yes, Kinley, we're gonna put those two equations together to try, this is where we have been last week. So looking at the two equations that we got circled, which letter would be easiest to eliminate? I could make my x's be 32s and get to keep that second one like it is. My z's, I'd have to multiply them both by something, wouldn't I?
About 10.
Yeah? Well, 10 one of them and 21 one of them, right? Yeah? So let's do the x's, and to get a 32, we would need to multiply this one by 16, right? So 16 times 2x is 32x. 16 times 10z is 160z.
I don't know which one's the top and which one's underneath.
No, shouldn't. I always try to put the first one on top, but I don't think it should matter.
Can
I don't know, 16 times 38. Anybody got that on the calculator?
I can do it for you.
Thank you, sweetie.
608.
Wow, just kidding.
They beat you, 608. Okay, now my other equation's already got a 32x, so I don't have to do anything to it. Okay, am I gonna add or subtract here?
Subtract.
Good. 32x minus 32x, that's nothing, he gone.
21 minus
160
160.
minus 21,
Oh,
so that's okay, you keep doing it that way.
Are we gonna get the same thing?
We should, then that's what Jalen was asking, so we'll get to experiment and find out for sure. And then 608 minus 52. 448, is that what you said?
I got 556.
556, don't confuse me, Riley. Alright, so last step for me is to divide.
I got 4.
Good job, so did we. So Z is 4. Okay. Now, tell you yesterday, look at your, or not yesterday, but last week, and look at your problem on the board. Once you get that, you gotta substitute it back in to find other stuff. But we've only got one, So we're not ready to substitute it back in the originals yet, because there's 3 up there. But we can substitute it into one of our circled ones, because there's just 2 letters there, right? So,
Can we do it into the 2x one?
okay, so Kinley's gonna put the 4 in here for the Z. Okay?
2, plus,
Nope, we gotta find 2 more letters.
1.
So Kinley's got 2x plus 10 times 4
I don't know if this is right, because I got
equals
-1.
38. So that's 2x plus 40. So then she subtracted 40. And that got 2x is -2.
X
So
equals
yes,
1.
I concur that x is -1. Alright, so we've got an x, we've got a z, but we're missing a y. Now, since we have 2 of our unknowns, this last step is when you go back to the original equations. Okay, everybody got here so I can scroll up and we can pick an original to plug them into? Alright, so one of these one of those up here, we're trying to find y, so I would say either the second or the third one. Second one, so let's come back down here and plug it in the 5x one. So I've got, whoops, thought I scrolled down, the scroller's messing me up. Where's my graph extended page thing? There it is. Alright, so I got 5x and my x is -1. I don't know my y, so plus y plus 2z, and our z was 4, is equal to 10. Alright, so do your multiplying where you substituted your stuff in.
We can get the -1 over it.
Yes. Alright, now you can combine your -5 and your 8. And then just subtract your 3.
1 equals 7.
Yep. Alright, so when you write your answer, when it was an ordered pair, it was always x comma y. This is called an ordered triple. So it's x comma y comma z.
So it always goes X plus.
What is ordered triple? Triple ordered? What?
Ordered triple.
So we do all that.
Now, can you imagine if we'd have made a mistake in step 1?
The whole thing would have been.
Yep, and you gotta be very super careful. Yes, Miss Kinley, ma'am.
Why didn't Z come before the Y? Is it alphabetical? Like, why can't it go
Well-
CXY or something like that?
Well, if we actually were able to graph that, the z-axis is a diagonal one, kind of like a 3D. And that, just like when we graph a normal graph, we have to go over and then up and down, so it's the same thing. You'd have to go over first, then up and down, and then your diagonal one. So that's the order the computer would graph them in.
Thanks.
No problem. Alright, this is just something that it takes practice, so we just gotta try some more. Hardest math we did was multiplying, right? But if we're not careful and make a little nitpicky mistake, it can get ugly. Alright, let's try another one. 4x plus y minus 3z equals 45. 6x minus 4y plus 3z equals 41. And then 2x minus 7y. Greetings, Earthling.
Sorry for interrupting.
20 lashes with a wet noodle.
Okay.
2x minus 7y minus 11z
Oh, I have a plus 1.
equals 85. two x minus seven y minus 11z. Okay, so what are you thinking here?
I think we take the top, or the top one in the middle.
But yeah, but three, the first two would equal 0z, so that would just be easiest, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody said that. You jumped in there like you were gonna argue with them.
Oh, no.
So, now just keep in mind, then we're gonna have to eliminate the z with the last one, which is gonna probably mean a 33, but that's okay. That's not hard, right? So, alright. So we're gonna write the first two again, cause they already got a 3z like everybody said. Okay, those 3z's have different signs, which means
You're adding.
add, good. 4x and 6x is 10x. Y plus negative 4y is negative 3y. 1y plus negative 4y is negative 3y. Okay, negative 3z plus 3z is nothing, he gone. And 45 plus
86.
41 is 86. That's new equation number one, don't lose it.
And then we take
We've already done those two, so now it's gotta be the third one with one of those two.
I think we take the bottom and the top.
Okay.
And multiply the top by 7.
But no, you gotta get rid of the z's again. Yep, so we'll have to multiply that top one, we're gonna make by 11.
Now by 3.
Uh-huh, so we're gonna have 44x.
Can you multiply them? Or then always possible?
Wait,
Well, this is a funny story, Jalen, and you probably won't agree, but some teachers teach to always multiply by whatever's, it will make signs be opposite, because they think you should only add them every time. But I say, we know how to add and subtract, so I just multiply by the number. I'm listening, Kinley.
nothing,
Okay, I'm
just
distributing
confused.
an 11 to the top one, because we're making our z's be 33s.
Or doing the top and then the
Are we adding or subtracting?
Well, we'll see when we get there in a second.
Well,
Well, what?
What I'm doing right now,
Okay.
cause it's confused me doing it that way, so I'm setting them up right now,
Uh-huh.
and then, what'd you do?
I multiplied the very top equation by 11, because I'm gonna get my z's to be 33s.
bottom and by 3.
But I still don't know
Okay.
45 times 11, I've been waiting on that.
11, okay,
If you want
thanks.
it this bottom,
Oh, I messed up.
11, so we just add it.
No, it's not 450, what's 11 times
451.
451?
51.
You're close. Okay, so now to get
Uh,
a 30, what's that?
45 times 11
Yes.
is 495.
Uh-oh. 45 times 11.
Oh, I'm 41.
484, I got 484, oh, that's 44, this is.
Holy cow.
I got 49.
Alright, so now, if we all agree on that,
Must have typed that in
Oh,
twice.
there's a decimal margin to make that part.
okay. But I know, that would've been horrible. We're gonna do the bottom equation by 3 to get in a 33, so it's gonna make 6x
CT will be
minus 21y minus 33z. And I need to know what 85 times 3 is.
85.
255.
225.
255.
255.
Did you do 85 times 3, Austin?
Yeah, 255.
Okay.
I thought you said 25. You said it so fast.
No, I said 255.
Alright, so now, my 33z's are same signs, which means I will subtract.
Oh, that's
So 44x minus 6x
38.
is 38x.
Oh, my gosh,
Okay,
you never know.
okay. 11y minus negative 21y.
Minus negative, or Oh, that is a negative
No?
32.
Yes. Oh, why did I put addition to
Negative 33Z minus negative 33Z is nothing, he gone. 495 minus 255.
240.
240, is there seven?
Yes, ma'am.
New equation number 2.
Can we do the same recipe?
No, your equations, you might look different in the process, but final answers should be the same.
Okay, I think with what goes in front of the
Okay, now those two new ones that I got subtracted are not friendly. Cause I look at the X's and I don't know anything right off the top of my head other than 380 that they both go into. I look at my Y's,
Oh, yeah, I think I know something.
my Y's might be 96 maybe?
No, got it. Boom.
What?
I got 160 to 32y times 5, or that, the bottom equation by 5 and the top one by 60. You get the same y, you get 160. The 6 times 3 is 1, and the 18, so you just add a 0 on the end. And
But
then
you said 160.
Yeah,
6 times 3 is 18, that'd be 180.
it is. See, there's something wrong with it.
Got it. Boom.
Ah, dang it.
Got it.
Hold on. Dang. Still not. No, it's still
Well,
380.
so we could go 380s on the X's, we could go 96 on the Y's, 32 times 3, that's smaller.
No, I like 380.
Okay, so what, Riley's gonna do is multiply this top one by 38.
Are you putting the 38x in the, that one and that one together?
I'm gonna multiply this one that's got 10x, I'm multiplying it by 38. Cause I'm gonna make 380x.
Alright,
What's 3 times 38?
3 times 38,
114, and what's 3 times 86?
258.
Alright, so now to get 380x on my second new equation, I just need to multiply it by 10. That's easy, just add zeros on everything.
oh crap.
Alright, so now my 380x's are same signs. So I'm gonna subtract 380x minus 380x, that's nothing, he gone. Negative 114y minus 320y, negative 434y.
Yes, ma'am.
258 minus 2400 is negative what?
Negative 2,142.
Alright, let's divide by negative 434. And tell me what y is.
Divided by negative
Why is it 8?
4.9.
Well, gang, something's wrong.
I think I did it wrong.
On mine, I did a different equation. Mine like 9.18.
That's wrong too. Alright, so this is the fun time. This is when we gotta go back and see where we made a mistake. And with all the numbers y'all hollered at me when y'all were multiplying, it could be anywhere. So where's my scroller? And I'm gonna grab a calculator too, if I can get my scroller to scroll up.
Okay.
What was the 10x multiplied by?
38.
Yeah, it was 3 times 38, and it was.
Found it.
And then 3
3.
times, did we times 3 times
Negative
86?
3 times 30.
Yes, what was 3 times
It's
8?
negative 90.
Okay, what's negative 90?
Negative 3 y times 30.
Wait, what? I
Wait,
thought
it's-
we multiplied
Oh,
3
30.
times 86 and we got 258.
Oh,
No,
Lordy.
I'm sorry.
What's wrong?
I'm not sure, I'm trying to get on
I realize what I did.
the, alright, so I'm multiplying all of this one by 38.
Right, you must buy.
10 times 38,
Oh,
let's
hey,
just go.
Coach.
Yes.
86 times 38 is 3,268.
Okay, that's where I'm at now. Where in the heck did y'all get 258? Yep. Alright, so this 258 was wrong, so that's where we're going to fix. Jeez Louise, Riley.
Yeah, it wasn't me, I didn't do that one.
I didn't mean you did it, I was just being jeez Louise.
It was like one.
Yeah, it was like,
Leilani hadn't opened her mouth today.
Mainly don't like to talk.
I'm confused now.
3268. Alright, so we do 3268 minus 2400.
868.
868.
They could have blasted out numbers with a different tone.
3268.
And it's positive 868. So 868 divided by negative 434,
Equals negative 2.
and that is correct. Woo! So, we learned how to work through an error, that's good. Now, one of our two new ones that we have circled, we need to go plug the negative 2 in for the y. So you wanna do the one with 10x or the one with 38x?
Wait,
Okay, 10x, Summer said, yes, Kinley?
when I did it, I got negative 2.00.
Okay, you're gonna have to find where you messed up at, 'cause y is negative 2. Alright, so we got 10x minus 3 times negative 2 equals 86, so that negative 3 times negative 2 is a positive 6. So we'd subtract our 6, get 10x equals 80, and then divide by your 10, and x would be 8. Alrighty. So, now we got an X and we got a Y. We get to go back to one of our originals to find the Z.
I'm gonna do the second one. First one.
The first one, okay. So I'm gonna do the first one with Kinley. So the first one says 4x, so 4 times 8 plus y. So y is negative 2. Could have just put minus 2, that's the same thing. Minus 3z equals 45. So that's 32 minus 2 is 30,
Wait, why is it a minus two?
because our y was negative 2. You could have just put minus 2 there, plus negative 2 is the same as minus 2. Because the equation said minus y. No, it didn't, it said plus y, that's right, plus y.
I got z equals negative 5. Not really sure. if that's
Okay, so
right.
we subtract our 30, so that gets us negative 3z equals 15. And then divide by negative 3, and yes ma'am, that's correct, z is negative 5. So then your ordered triple
You get
is,
8 negative 2.
good job.
These are easy.
Okay, so I had actually intended to do 3 with you, because I knew how long they were and how long it would take. I don't think we got time to get the third one done, so we'll stop it at 2. We are working on this lesson again tomorrow. This is not a one day and you got it last time. We gotta do a lot of practicing. So, everybody, hang on to those notes and we'll add some more onto it tomorrow.